Bless me, Lord. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here one more time. Today I want to speak directly to those who are called themselves as workers of God. And I'm sure that everybody out there who call themselves workers of God are confident that you've been given a job to do and that you are doing it. So if it's true, the message that I'm speaking of is not to you, but I'm talking to the ones out there who are on the wrong track. I was called, ladies and gentlemen, not just to be a follower. I was saved out of my death to come back and tell you, those who may be, I don't know whether you love God or not, but God wants you to know that your acting proves that you don't. In other words, those of you who are preachers in America, those are the ones I'm going to talk to today. You got it wrong. All of you black preachers in America that's preaching, you got it wrong. You can look around and you see you all do it the same way. Every black preacher in America follows the what? You follows basically the pattern that was set down by those before you. You follow basically the pattern that was set down by your slave masters. And the pattern that they follow came from a slave master of theirs. Now, it could be somebody other than evil, but it's all backwards. The evidence is all over America that all the stuff that you're doing, all of this praying and all of this fasting and all of this paying tithes and offering is not doing anything as far as glorifying God. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day, when I was witnessing the fires burning Paradise in California, when I was witnessing the people being turned back at the border, or the threat of putting guns at the border, I couldn't contain myself. I felt on my knees and I began to pray because the tears were too heavy for me to continue to stand. And as I began to pray, I don't think I uttered more than 15 or 20 words, at least 2 sentences before God spoke to me and told me that it is my pride that has prevented me from doing the will of God. My pride. When I go out and speak to people, I tell people things, but I want them to like me, so I don't want to upset them. I try to tell them something in a way that they won't perceive it as being hostile. And doing it like that, nobody's listening. And if I did it like God told me to do, maybe somebody would listen. But at least I'd be obedient. The life that was saved out of death would have been justified. But because I haven't done it like that, it seems like a waste. But God knew it wouldn't be a waste because He told me to tell America, now this is all the religious institutions in America, that you got it backwards. And those of you who do not follow the church, you're kind of blessed because they got it backwards. Now, the mission that I was given was to go out and tell the world that you're on a path to hell. Now, you'll hear your preachers tell you that you have to read the Bible, study the Bible. That's the Word of God. How else will you know God? And if we had any sense at all, we would know there would be one church. There would not be thousands and thousands of churches. And if there were, they would be replica of the one church. And what was saying in one, what was being said in one, would be said in another. What would be done in one would be done in another. And all these differences, nothing but individualities trying to express themselves and have some power. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen of America, you're going to church. You just went to church the other day. You're going to be going to church Sunday. You're wasting your time. You've heard it said that forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. And you think that because you come together in a big building with several, or in some instances and thousands and others, that you connected to something. Yes, you are connected to something. You're connected to fakeness. You are connected to sin. The truth word is wherever 2 or 3 are assembled in my name, there I am in the midst. which basically says that wherever me and you get together and we start talking about God, God is right there. God is the topic of the conversation. Going and coming, God is the topic of the conversation. And it doesn't mean that you got to be talking about God all the time, because what is God? God is love. P-O-D love. P-O-D love. This morning you see a photo of kids in Wisconsin somewhere taking a photo. I don't know when it was taken, but everybody giving the Nazi sign. And you know what the Nazi sign means. Now those kids, where did they get that from? They got it from their parents. And their parents go to church. And we got that same representation in the White House. And you got evangelicals holding that evilness up on their shoulders. You got every ethnicity that you can imagine holding that up on their shoulders. And ladies and gentlemen, it's because we don't understand. It's because there are people like me who have straight their responsibility and have failed us all. But I give God the glory today because I'm here telling you the truth. But I'm going to do more than just stand here on video and tell you the truth. I'm going to get in this community. And all my church brothers, I'm going to say your brothers because you say you love God. You say you love God. But I'm coming to you not because you don't love God, but because you're on the wrong path. And if you love God, you'll understand what I'm saying to you. God told me to tell you you're on the path to hell. Path to hell. Now, with this world, let me bring it back down to this earth. This world is too big for me to even think about envisioning. But this earth has been given all of the little necessities that we have in the crevices of it, resting there for a time when we mature to a reality that it can be exercised. It's there for the benefit of all living forces, not just we as human beings, but the animals and plants and everything else as well. But we're here to love, but it got to be a choice of love, a choice of love. What does that mean? That basically means, ladies and gentlemen, that we have sovereignty in our lives. When you look at one nation, Russia and the United States, you say, well, Russia has sovereignty there, United States has sovereignty there. That means that these two nations must survive together if they know how. But that doesn't mean it's just limited to nations. It's limited to you and I. You have the same sovereignty that the United States have. I have the same sovereignty as the United States have. In other words, I'm responsible for living here. You are responsible for living here. And if you know the truth, you know that all things have been provided for by God. If you knew and walked according to the truth, you know those things that are not, that you need, that I need, that are not accessible to us is because there's an enemy of God that prevents it from happening. And it is the love of God that we can share for one another that would give us the courage to stand against any handcuffs that prevents us from accessing and using the benefits that God has made available to us. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, what that means, I know a lot of you give in because you're afraid. You know what the system does to you. The system will take you out. And then you ask yourself, well, God, what am I supposed to do when I stand up for what's right and then evil come at me? Well, if you stand up for what's right and evil come at you, you stand up continuously for what's right. Well, what if it prevents danger to me? Then, my friends, that's when you are supposed to go into you and find out who you are. If your faith says defend yourself, then defend yourself. Now, if an aggressor comes at you and you are responding as one that's defending themselves, I can promise you in most instances that aggressor will be overcome. Now, if that aggressor comes at you and your spirituality says you will not act in any form or fashion that reflects the same attitude of that one that is evil, then you will receive all of the evil that they bring at you. Why? Because the most thing they can do is give you a path to freedom. A path to freedom out of this world. A path to freedom out of what we see every day. See, we don't understand what's going on in the world. We don't understand who there's too much tremendous stuff out here that we don't understand. And part of it is what happens after death. Very few of us know what that is. In fact, none of us know what it is. We have to do and respond to that by our faith. And if our faith is that we will have eternal life, then act like it. Don't be afraid. And if you say that the day that we die as we know it right here today, and that's the ultimate, then if that's your faith limit, that then die like that. If it's not true, no big deal. You just do good. Just be a lover. Now, I am so glad to stand here today and tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that for every sickness there's some type of treatment, there's some type of medical care that was provided for God, for all the people that need it. And not just the knowledge, but the knowledge was given to those that had been set aside, those who have been chosen to serve in this capacity. They have the brains, my friend, to do, because they say it's very complicated, I don't know. But God qualified them with the ability, the intelligence, that they can utilize that information and be able to serve us, not to sell it. Not to sell it. The knowledge is free. Somebody said, well, I went to school, I had to pay for it. That was a part of the trick too. Education is free. God trained people, put in their minds the abilities, the desire, the love in their hearts to be instructors to teach those who are seeking education. Not to sell it. It's to be free. All education is supposed to be free, except when you're bumping your head against the wall because you don't want to learn. Now that, you got knots on your head for that. But going to school is free, according to God's plan. All of these things, ladies and gentlemen, your housing, all of that given by God. Men with the intelligence, the skills to do all of the necessary things to do. That's their contribution to life, is a gift from God. That everybody should have shelter, not to be sold. And how is this done? All of these things that are essential, all of these provisions that are made, they are made by individual people that God made, that God put the talents in, that God put the gifts in, that God put that journey in. So that you can serve one another as a sovereign. You working together. If two people come together and each of them need the same things, do they fight for it? Some do. If you're absent love, you think that that's it. But if you are working and operating in love, you'll find a way that you both can have it. And if one has one gift and another has another gift, rather than going out there trying to provide for yourself in all things, split it up. And let each one play a part in it. It becomes easier and you can do more. And as more people are there, you can engage yourselves more. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so crazy trying to understand how you can be so deceived for so long in this life. We are living in hell. God says you're on the preachers. My brothers, I got a couple of brothers that's preachers. I got friends that's preachers. God snatched me out from amongst all of you guys and told me to tell you that you're on the wrong path. Your intentions might be good, but that ain't good enough. You're on the wrong path. You're talking about studying the Bible. I got enough stuff that has happened in the past 40 years of trying to get this message out here that God has given me, that to write another Bible. And that would be just as legitimate as the one that you're reading about. But no, you want to go back and say the only way is to study what somebody has said. That is not God, ladies and gentlemen. Those are instances of people responding to certain situations with God connected to it. Doesn't mean that this is what you follow. God is love. You follow love. Follow love. And what is love? Love is the absence of war. Love is the absence of lying and cheating and stealing and killing and crime and violence and prejudices and racism and bigotry. Love is the absence of all of that. When you move that stuff out of the way, then you got the time to be gentle, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be openly loving, doing for others as you have others to do for you. That is the expression of God's love. I don't care how much you preach it in the pulpit. Now I'm going to put it to you just like it is. Those of you who are working in the system of America, you are working for the devil. You say, well, I don't care, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me one more time. The system of the United States of America is from the pit of hell. If you are a Republican, a conservative, is there a plan that you have that works for the liberal Democrats, that benefits them as well as it does you? Heck no. If you're a liberal Democrat, do you have proposals and plans that will work for the conservative Republicans as well as it does for you? Heck no. Why? Because there's the evil in both of them. And they will not allow love to be expressed. And when you recognize love, you're supposed to undress yourself from all of that bull. It ain't nothing but bull. The United States of America and its system of government is nothing but bull. Oh, I know you say the founding fathers set up something good. I'm not trying to say they didn't set up something good at the time. It might have been beautiful at the time, depending upon where they were coming from. But I stand before you today to tell you that it's leading you straight to hell. And all of those of you who think you are above this, you're playing along in the system says that you support the devil. I don't care how much you pray. I don't care how much you testify. As long as a person is sick and can't get health care, you go along with it. It's the devil. You might say, well, let's see if we get the prices low. That's still the devil. When people can't have food, they're going to shelters and stuff trying to find food. And you say, let's put food in the shelter. I don't care how much you're trying to put a little food in the shelter. You're still providing the existence for the devil to live. When people are talking about, I can't find employment, I can't exercise my gifts so I can get some returns, and you going along with it talking about your party did better, your party going to do better, you are both advocating for Satan. If you're on internet, Facebook, trying to present your positions on one philosophy of life in opposition to another, and it is not about love, all of you guys on this wrong path. I don't care if you're my mama, which is gone, my father, who is gone, and my folks that raised me, who are gone, or my wives, or my sons and my daughters. If you're on that path, you're going straight to hell unless you don't wake up. Now, I'm out here today to tell you, if you hear my voice, maybe not today, you're in hell already. Now, you are not in, many of you are not in paradise right now. You see, money wasn't sufficient enough to save them. And the fires are burning them, and I feel so much sorrow for them. I cry out for them. I feel pain for them. That's a deeper hell than the hell you feel right now. But unless you change, the hell that they're doing and experiencing right there is the hell that you're going to be experiencing right here. I'm saying to you, and I'm going to tell you one more time, and I don't care if you like me, I do not give a good hoot if you like me. I don't care if you, and as long as you are carrying on the way you are carrying on, I want you to hate me. You hate me or love me. Don't stroke me. Don't tell me you're my friend. Don't you dare tell me you my friend. And people out there hurting, and you want to blame them. And you tell them, if you need a job, get on your knees and God is going to give you a job. God's going to send you over to the devil and tell the devil you want a job. And if you commit yourself to the way the devil wants you to commit yourself, then maybe you can get a job. And that's all you got to tell people. You were so blind. Brothers and sisters, you are so blind. You are so blind. You are so blind. And there's nothing basically in this system that represents God. That little stuff where we talking about being good, every time the floods come and somebody starts assembling with the Red Cross and we're doing this is a compassionate nation. This is not a compassionate nation. There are people that's dying every day with cancer. The cure for cancer has been given so many times. I'm not saying we got it, but it's been provided for us. If we don't have it, it's because our hearts are too evil to receive it. And if our hearts can receive it, our system is too evil to allow it to exist. We got people dying from all kinds of things. And people don't really want to die. They really want to live. And God has provided that they can live. But the demons that goes along with the system the way it is. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about if I knew anybody who was on the right track, according to the spirit that God has given me, I'll single you out. For I know no one, even I am included in this batch with you. Every last one of us on a fast track to hell. Every last one of us. Clafford Dollar. Who give me a white preacher. Osteen. T.D. Jakes. Joyce Myers. All of us on a fast path to hell. And you sitting out there listening to these preachers telling you to plant a seed. Give $1,000 and God gonna bless you. You fool! God is love. God is easy. God is sweet. God is a smile. God is a flower. You know, some of you who have been held up before people as idols, the system has blessed you and you got a lot, and everybody wants to have a life that's worth living. And you can, one of you genders can shower some specialness on another, like flowers and candy and movies and going out to dances and drinking wine, and you think how wonderful that could be. Yes, that can be wonderful for everybody. But when it is only wonderful for some, it's a reflection of the devil, not God. It's a reflection of the devil, not God. Because if it were of God, then the emphasis would be to make sure that it would be available to everyone. Not that everyone would have to do the same things. But the things that are in their hearts, the things that they want to do, they would be able to do it to one another, and no one else would have a problem with it. They work together. Love flows together. Now, how many of you are on your deathbeds today? How many of you are praying for God to forgive you, to give you one more shot? To do what? To eat another meal? To get another night of sleep? To engage yourself in some romance one more time? Well, this is what living is to you. But to sit, to play, to sing, to dance, not necessarily in saying, this little light of mine, or he got the whole world in his hand, or that God specializes. It could mean, baby, I love you. With all my heart, I love you. I want you to be with me, and I want to be with you. It could mean, Mama, Daddy, let's live together a little bit more. Because there's going to come an end, and I love you so much, I just want to be around you. Can we come together? It could mean, oh my God, my friends, I know how you feel about me. I've been telling you this one way or another. I've been trying to keep hurting your feelings. And I know you reject me. You don't want to have anything to do with me, but I'm going to have something to do with you. I'm going to tell you. You're on the path to hell. And if I get a chance to speak at any place where you at, without opening my mouth, I'm going to say to the people, you're on the path to hell. You're being led by some people who don't know God. Don't know God. If you don't have compassion for one another, it will teach you, my friends. It will teach you. Fundamentalist Christians over there holding up Satan on their shoulders and want you to say that they are children of God. They want the world to think that they got something going on. They got the Jew. I guess he's a Jew, I don't know what he is, over in Israel, talking about the children and the sons of God, and all they can do is shoot bombs. Come on, film. All they can do is drop bombs and kill the Palestinian people. But they represent love. That ain't God. Ooh, acting a little bit like Alex Jones there. But you killing people who are trying to find a place that they can live, that they can sit down and eat and rest. And you're bombing them. In the world, America, think you are representing God. You ain't representing no God. You're representing your God, which is Satan. You got people running from other countries going through the same kind of stuff that many of us go through in this country. And get to the borders, you got the evangelicals, fundamentalists, holding up Satan on his shoulders, sending guns, threatening to put guns on the border. If you come over here, we're going to shoot you if you're upset. Throw a rock and we'll put a bullet, let you know what we think about it. Well, if you're so doggone bad, ladies and gentlemen, how come you can't stop that fire? I mean, you got planes going. You got the firefighters out there committing their lives and all the water they can get to stop this fire, but you can't stop it. And all your boldness and all your greatness and all of this godliness that you got. You can't stop that. Why? Because you don't know how. You do not know how. If there was a little love in you, you can imagine a moment, wherever you are right now. If there was a little love in you, you could imagine the rain falling all over those places where the fire is right now. And in a matter of moments, it would be raining and that fire would be quenched. Just by imagining it. But the devil is so deep in you, hate and envy is so deep in you, that can't nothing come out but fires jumping all over the place, spreading all over the place, and you just ain't got it. You got these prejudices. Let me be quiet. You got these people on TV, right? And, man, they can justify evil with every ounce of their being. And those of you who consider these people acting this way as being so evil, you are hoping that Mullen, if God, is going to search through all of this stuff and punish these people that have caused so much pain to you. Yes, these people have caused pain to you, ladies and gentlemen, but you brought it on yourselves. This is your reward for how you have acted, how you have responded in this life, during your life. This is your reward. And whatever mothers come up with, if he end up finding somebody who can do a little bit more additional punishment to, if he can find someone that can make you feel good just because they got him, you're still in hell. And from the moment that you can say, you can laugh because you think they got him, hell keeps right on rolling on. Because whatever created them is continuously creating others. And who is telling you that you don't have to go through any of this? Who can tell you what love is? Is it those who say, because of my color, being white or black, that being first by God, that I got the authority to abuse you, I got the authority to make you fall under my feet and treat you like I'm king, and you are whatever you are? That's the devil again. It's all throughout our minds. It's all throughout our thinking. Everything that we can come up with, even when we think we're sharing love, is nothing but being directed by the devil, directed by evil, directed by hate, directed by bigotry. I take this moment, ladies and gentlemen, and tell you one more time. Every last one of us in America on the path to hell. And none of us are excused from it. You can tell yourself you are, but you're lying. We are all in here together. Osteen, T.D. Jakes, I'm just going to use two of you. You think that you got no responsibility in the sufferings of the world? You think just because you get up in that pulpit and say something that you've done your duty? No. Everybody out here is putting up with what's going on. And by you being up in that pulpit preaching, thinking that you're above it, no. You're putting up with what's going on. Or do you think that your rapping is supposed to inspire somebody else to go out there and do whatever is necessary to fix it, while all you had to do was talk? No, my friends, every last one of us got a responsibility. Somewhere they said that you can use faith. They say faith is the evidence of things. What they say now? Faith is the substance of things. The substance of things. Faith, the substance of things hoped for. That means you don't see it. You might see it mentally, spiritually. It's the substance of things hoped for. And the evidence of things not seen. Faith. But they also say that faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. So all of the faith in America in God is dead. All of the faith in America in God is dead. Let me say it one more time. All the faith in America in God is dead. because it has no works. Has no works. You got a president, anytime he think about anything, the first thing come out of his mouth is the vile stench of Satan. Then somebody tell him, oh, you should have done that. You should say it this way. Then he propagate himself and come back and try to act like he found there's some decency in him. There's no decency in him. What he spoke from his mouth the first time he opened it explains exactly the kind of person that one is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've said this to you 1,000 times. I got a few bills that I'm due to pay. But as I think about it, even paying these bills is going along with the system that denies God. So I'm telling you, if I owe you because I love you, I'm not going to pay you with what you think I'm going to pay you with. I'm going to pay you my fulfilling my responsibility in life. And that is freeing you to be you. If you're a dentist, to free you to be the best dentist, to give the best service that you possibly can, and open every door available to you to achieve and receive anything that money can buy without you doing money, without you putting any money in your hand. All you do is put your tools in your hands. If you're a doctor, put your tools in your hands, and it will enable you, it will qualify you to do anything, to receive anything that has been created in America by men and women that exist that you might want. Nothing is restricted to you. You engage yourself in life. You play a part in the production of the goods and services we require, and there's nothing in life that is denied you. This is the Spirit of God. This is the love of God, and this is not Satan, and this is not the devil. And I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, now that you heard this message, it's not going to flip overnight. We're so deep in this hell that many of us who stand against the system might have to gloriously defend ourselves or gloriously allow ourselves to pass on out of here. But the responsibility for heaven to exist on this earth still remains for those who are here. And the requirements for doing it is always the same. It never changes. I don't care if you're a Baptist, a Methodist, a Catholic, or a Confucius, a Buddha. The path to the almighty power is the same. Every map will lead you there. Is a map of love. Without love, you will always be in hell. And that's where you deserve to be until you wake up. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I haven't wasted your time. I haven't wasted mine. And I give God the glory. Not just in these words, but watch out. I'm coming out there in those streets, and I'm going to tell it. I'm going to expose this crook. When I say I'm going to expose this crook, you might think, how are you going to do that? I'm going to lift up God. You see, you don't know God. You know the crook. So all I got to do is lift up God, and when I lift up God, you'll know it. I don't care what you believe. When I lift up God, or anyone who lifts up God, it's known. People might want to reject it, but it's known. Thank you. Bye-bye.